Hello again, it's me, Paul, pronouncing Dutch words and names the way a Dutchman would pronounce them. I have 3 mysteries for you today. 3. Number 1, who's the guy behind me? Have you seen his portrait before? Obviously, he's not from this day and age. He was born in 1632 in Amsterdam. He's a famous Dutchman. Number 2, what is this utensil? If you're Dutch, you know exactly what I'm holding. If you're not Dutch, you probably have no idea. What is it? What is it used for? And mystery number 3 is what's the link between this utensil and this famous Dutch philosopher? His name is Baruch Spinoza. Baruch Spinoza. You say, that doesn't sound very Dutch. No. His parents came from Portugal. They fled the persecution of the Jews that was going on around the 1600s. And the Netherlands was the land of the free thinkers, of the Enlightenment. René Descartes, who said, I think, therefore I am, moved to the Netherlands so he could pursue his work in freedom. And so did Spinoza, and he was a very radical philosopher. He was so radical that they kicked him out of the Jewish faith, and he changed his name from Baruch into Benedictus, or Benedict, the Latinized version of it. Anyway, too much information, I know. But what is the link between this one and that person here? Well, there's one famous quote that Spinoza is known for. He's known for many quotes, but this is one of his most famous. He said, no matter how thinly you slice it, you'll always be left with at least 2 sides. No matter how thinly you slice it, you'll be left with at least 2 sides, which is very true. And I had to think of that quote when people responded to my last video, where I taught or told you about the way I look at the world. I said the world comprises of 2 types of people. The we people, who think about others first, and the me people, who think about themselves first, and that drives their behavior. The we people think of others, and the me people are more inclined to think about themselves. And when I make generalizations, it is a generalization, by the way, there's always 1 or 2 people in the comments that say, Paul, you're so wrong. You oversimplify reality, and that's wrong. You should not do that. Why do I oversimplify things? Well, this is social media, for Pete's sake. We don't have hours to go in depth on any topic, to present you with the most intricate details, because people are not interested. They have no attention span these days. You know, have you noticed that? I mean, I bet you that 95%, if not 98% of the people who started watching this video have already moved on to something else, because there's always something more funny, bigger, better. Let's look at that cat video. Oh, that's fun. Let's look at this hamster in the wheel. Oh, look at that. And let's look at this and that. And it goes on and on and on and on. This is the eternal stream of distraction. It's the nature of the beast. But in order for me to explain something, I have to be fast. I have to cut to the chase, or cut to the cheese. Cut to the chase and draw you a black and white picture so you see a clear contrast. And I know that there's more in the world than black and white. There's a lot of gray, and there's a lot of color too. And besides, we are not only constrained by time, but also by our language, because language in and of itself can never be clear. Case in point, when I say the word flowers, what do I mean by that? It's a generalization, isn't it? Because when I say flowers, as a Dutchman, I think of tulips, of course, tulips from Amsterdam, where this guy was born. When you think of flowers, you may think of, oh, Valentine's Day is coming up. Roses. Or somebody else might think, oh, sunflowers, Van Gogh, Van Gogh. Right? So language in and of itself can never be precise. So no matter how thin you slice something, no matter how much you debate all the intricacies of any topic ever discussed by mankind on social media, there will always be 2 sides. There's always more nuance, more details to disagree on. So his name is Baruch Spinoza, and this is what we call in Dutch een kaasschaven. What did Spinoza say? No matter how thinly you slice it, there will always be 2 sides. Take care, tot ziens, bye-bye.